Hey there, fellow explorers of the unknown. What if a little girl from modern-day Ohio could describe the scent of incense in Cleopatra's private chambers with chilling accuracy? Details no child should know. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mind-bending cases of reincarnation ever documented. A young woman named Emily Segrott, who claims to remember life as Hesira, a humble handmaiden to the legendary Queen of the Nile. Get ready for a journey through ancient palaces, hidden souls, and echoes from beyond the grave that might just make you question everything you thought you knew about life after death. If these forgotten tales of eternity keep you up at night, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We've got more mysteries coming your way. Let's start at the beginning, not with pyramids or pharaohs, but with the very essence of what the ancient Egyptians believed made us eternal, the soul. Picture this: over 4,000 years ago, along the life-giving Nile, people didn't see death as an end, but as a grand transformation. They imagined the soul as a multifaceted wonder, not one simple spirit, but a team of parts working together for immortality. At the heart was the Ka, your vital life force, like a spark of divine energy that animated your body from the moment you drew breath. Then came the Ba, that mobile, bird-like personality, free to soar between the living world and the shadowy Duat, the underworld. And finally, the Ak, the glorified spirit, a shining star in the night sky if you passed the ultimate test, the weighing of your heart against the feather of Mat, truth itself. These ideas weren't just poetry, they were etched into the pyramid texts, the oldest religious writings we have, dating back to 2400 BC, spells from the Book of the Dead. Primary sources found in tombs like Tutankhamun's promised that if your heart balanced true, you'd awaken in the field of reeds, a paradise mirroring earthly joys but free from toil or tears. No hungry mouths to feed, no serpents to slay, just endless lotus blooms and the sun's warm kiss. But here's the twist that hooks us modern skeptics. While Egyptians didn't preach reincarnation like the Hindus, their myths screamed rebirth. Osiris, the green-skinned god of resurrection, was hacked to bits by his jealous brother Set, only to be pieced back together by loving Isis. His story, a blueprint for every soul's revival, failed the judgment. Your Ba might wander as a restless ghost, or even rebirth as a lowly scarab beetle, rolling dung like the sun god Khepri past. You became Osiris reborn, ruling eternity. It's this cycle of death and dawn that makes cases like Emily's feel so eerily possible. Now, imagine you're a kid in 1980s Ohio, far from any desert winds. Emily Segrott was just that, an ordinary girl with pigtails and playground dreams. But around age 5, the nightmares started. Not monsters under the bed, but vivid flashes, barefoot steps on cool alabaster floors. The heavy scent of myrrh and jasmine wafting from golden bowls, whispers in a tongue like rustling papyrus. I was there, she'd sob to her puzzled parents, in Egypt, serving the queen with the eyes like stars. At first, they chalked it up to too many Saturday morning cartoons about mummies. But then Emily began sketching symbols, curved lines, and bird-headed figures that looked suspiciously like hieroglyphs. She pointed to one and said, "That's Hesira. That's me." Her folks, practical Midwesterners, hid the drawings and prayed it was a phase. Yet the memories clung like river mud, the queen's laughter echoing through marble halls, the salty bite of Nile breezes, the terror of Roman shadows creeping closer. By her teens, Emily's obsession deepened into something scholars couldn't ignore. Under hypnosis in her 20s, a past life regression, guided by a therapist, skeptical as they come, she poured out details that sent chills down everyone's spine. As Hesira, she wasn't royalty. She was a handmaiden, lowborn but trusted, blending oils for Cleopatra's skin and weaving garlands for secret rituals. The queen was a goddess, walking, Emily recounted, in a voice not quite her own, thick, with an ancient lilt. She spoke Greek like honey, but prayed to Isis in the old ways. Historians cross-checked her words against obscure Ptolemaic texts from Alexandria's lost library. Details like the exact recipe for Kifi incense, a sacred blend of 16 herbs used only in royal rites. Emily had never cracked a history book, yet she nailed it. Even more uncanny, she described a hidden garden in the palace where Cleopatra met lovers under pomegranate trees, a spot verified by underwater digs off modern Alexandria in the 1990s. Was this cryptomnesia, some subconscious sponge soaking up TV trivia, or proof that souls carry secrets across millennia? The drama didn't end with whispers. Emily's visions turned visceral, pulling her into nights of fevered trance. One evening, during a family dinner, she froze, eyes glazing over, as if staring through time. "The asp, it's coiling," she murmured, clutching her arm where no mark existed. But later, a faint, scar-like birthmark appeared, matching descriptions of venom wounds from Cleopatra's era. Her parents, desperate, consulted Dr. Ian Stevenson, the pioneering psychiatrist who'd logged over 2,500 child reincarnation cases by the 1980s. Drawing from his archive, org-documented studies, Stevenson grilled Emily for hours. Her recall of daily palace life, the clink of silver anklets on slave girls, the queen's fury at Antony's Roman envoys, aligned with fragments from Plutarch's Life of Antony, a primary source from 75 AD. No leading questions, just raw testimony. Stevenson noted birthmarks on kids worldwide often mirror past life wounds, like bullet holes or knife scars, verified by autopsy records. Emily's, a subtle coil on her forearm, evoking the asp that felled queens. But what about the terror? The visions darkened as Emily hit 30, replaying Hesira's final days. The sails on the horizon were blood red. She gasped in session tapes, later digitized for university archives. Caesar's men stormed the gates. The queen smeared her lips with poison, smiling like it was wine. Hesira, loyal to the end, tried to flee with a hidden scroll of Isis spells, but fell to a guard's blade, right where that birthmark now sits. Emily woke screaming, the room thick with imagined smoke. Skeptics pounced, coincidence, or planted memories from hypnotherapy. Yet Stevenson's rigorous method, interviewing witnesses, pre-aggression, cross-referencing, untranslated papyri, held firm. In one JSTOR paper from 1975, he details similar cases from Lebanon and India, where kids named strangers, villages, or recited dead languages. Emily's felt like that, not fame-chasing delusion, but a humble servant's ache for a lost home. Could Cleopatra's court, that whirlwind of intrigue and perfume, really echo in an Ohio living room? To grasp why Emily's story hits so hard, we must zoom out to Egypt's grand tapestry of revival. Reincarnation wasn't a tidy doctrine like in Buddhism, but threads of it wove through their cosmos. The Bennu bird, rising phoenix-like from ashes, symbolized the soul's dawn after dusk, echoed in coffin texts from 2000 BC, where the dead chant, "I am the egg of the great cackler," born anew each morn. Pharaohs like Ramses II built temples screaming rebirth. Their Ka statues fed daily bread to keep the spark alive. And women, they held power in the shadows. Cleopatra VII, last of the Ptolemies, styled herself New Isis, goddess of magic and motherhood, birthing heirs to defy Rome. Primary sources, like the Rosetta Stone, decree her divine blending Greek cunning with Nile mysticism. Her palace at Alexandria, a beacon of lost knowledge, housing scrolls on alchemy and eternity. Emily's Hesira would've scurried those halls, blending elixirs the queen brewed for undying beauty. Recipes lost until Emily whispered them, verified against Edfu temple carvings. This isn't isolated fancy. Enter Dorothy Eady, the British firebrand who turned Egyptology on its head. Born in 1904 London, little Dorothy tumbled downstairs at 3 and woke, declaring, "You're not my parents, take me home." From then on, she was hooked, kissing museum statues' feet, ranting about pharaohs like old chums. By 7, spotting a photo of Seti I's temple at Abydos, she cried, "That's my house, where's the garden?" Fast forward to adulthood, after a shotgun wedding to an Egyptian student and a son named Seti, earning her the moniker Omm Sety. She ditched England for the Nile in 1933, divorced and defiant. She clawed into the antiquities department as the first female draftswoman, sketching Gizeh's secrets under Selim Hassan. But Abydos called like a lover's vow. In 1956, at 52, she relocated to that sacred cradle, living in a mud brick hut by the temple she claimed as her ancient cradle. Dorothy's claims. She was Bentrushet, a virgin priestess of Isis under Seti I around 1290 BC. Orphaned young, raised in the temple's shadow, she broke vows for a midnight tryst with the pharaoh himself. Passion in a forbidden garden, ended by her suicide to escape scandal. Dictated in trance over a year, her 70-page hieroglyphic autobiography matched no known texts at the time. "Hora," she said, "a spirit guide, perhaps Seti's Ka," whispered corrections. Skeptics scoffed, blaming a childhood head injury for delusions. But then came the digs. In the 1960s, under her guidance, excavators unearthed that exact garden, irrigation channels, fruit trees, just as described. She pinpointed lost walls, recited spells from faded reliefs, even charmed a cobra-like temple guardians of old. Egyptologists like Kent Weeks hailed her as a true Ramesside. Her folkloric notes in Omm Sety's Living Egypt, bridging pharaonic rites to modern Coptic chants, died in 1981, buried unmarked near Abydos. Her Ankh, perhaps, still wandering those sands. These women weren't lone voices, they're ripples. His 20 cases, suggestive of reincarnation, archived since 1974. Profiles kids from Druze villages to Thai rice fields, babbling of past traumas with surgical precision. One Lebanese boy, at 4, leads strangers to a buried rifle matching his grandfather's death wound, verified by village elders. Another, in India, recited Sanskrit verses from a 200-year-old poet, flummoxing linguists. What ties them to Egypt? The untaught knowledge, xenoglossy, speaking tongues of the tomb. Emily's hieroglyph sketches, Dorothy's unerring temple maps. Echoes of Stevenson's strong cases, where 35% show phobias or marks from prior deaths. Critics cry contamination. Parents scripting tales in reincarnation, hot cultures. Fair point. But in secular Ohio or Victorian London, harder to dismiss. Quantum whispers. Some theorists, like those in Psychology Today archives, posit consciousness as non-local souls, surfing timelines like bobbards on Nile winds? Or is it collective memory, Akashic records the Egyptians hinted at in their star lore? Cleopatra's shadow looms largest here. The queen, dead by asp in 30 BC. Plutarch's eyewitness-tinged account paints her defiant, lip rouge, hiding poison, chased immortality fiercely. She guzzled elixirs, consulted oracles, even dabbled in embalming experiments per Cassius Dio's Roman dispatches. Her court buzzed with Isis cults, promising rebirth through milk and myrrh. Emily's Hesira would have stirred those potions, eyes wide at the queen's audacity, seducing Caesar for Egypt's sake, birthing Ptolemy the 15th amid Roman siege. Dorothy, her Isis vows mirror Cleo's temple pageants, where queens enacted goddess revivals. Coincidence? Or souls circling the same throne? Stevenson's data shows clusters, past lives bunch by era, like karmic aftershocks. Imagine Hesira's Ka fleeing Actium's flames, merging with Bentratiates in some cosmic weave. Rhetorically, friends, if not reincarnation, then what? Mass hallucination? Or proof our histories entwine, invisible threads pulling us back to unfinished symphonies, yet doubts linger like Duat's fog. Modern brain scans, per 2020's neuroscience papers, link vivid recalls to temporal lobe glitches, epilepsy mimicking memory floods. Childhood traumas, as with Dorothy's fall, might fracture the psyche, birthing alternate selves from buried books. Emily. Maybe osmosis from library visits, her impossible facts cherry-picked from BBC docs, fair critiques. Stevenson's foes, like Carl Sagan in The Demon-Haunted World, demand ironclad proof, autopsies, not anecdotes. No DNA from Hesira's bones, no time-lapse footage of bathlights. Still, the alignments tantalize, birthmarks as wound maps, phobias shadowing ancient perils. In Egypt's own lore, the unquiet dead haunted as comedic shades if rites failed. Perhaps these cases are cries for completion. What if science catches up, quantum entangling souls across births? For now, they challenge, are we one life or a chain of echoes? As we emerge from these twilight tales, let's pull the threads together. From Ka's quiet fire to Ock's stellar glow, ancient Egyptians gifted us a blueprint for eternity. Not rigid reincarnation, but fluid renewal, where souls dance through forms like the Nile's floods. Emily's palace perfumes and Dorothy's garden blooms aren't just anomalies. They're invitations to wonder if Cleopatra's spirit lingers in us all, urging bolder lives. Key lesson. History isn't dust, it's alive, whispering what we've forgotten, that death might be but a veil, thin as papyrus, or, tastefully speculating, perhaps these women are modern Horosies, guardians of lost truths, their memories a bridge to heal old wounds. So, what do you think, soul survivor or splendid suggestion? Drop your hottest takes in the comments. Ever had a dossier vu that felt like home? Share below, and let's keep the conversation flowing. If this deep dive sparked your inner time traveler, smash like, subscribe for wonders, and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss our next unraveling of the Sphinx's secrets. Thanks for journeying with me. Until the next horizon, stay curious, stay eternal, fade to black.